Welcome back to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the Desert Sun. Today I'm going to be talking about the XRP and SEC lawsuit. There's a number of things to talk about that happened this week, and I want to cover it because it is important. For those of you who are new to tuning in, I'm huge into XRP. I packed my bags a while ago, and I would say that of anything that I've followed in the last year, next to the election and the pandemic, this has to be the most interesting story that no one is talking about. And I want to cover it and I want to give you as much information as possible because uh, it just blows my mind every time I wake up and go straight to financial feeds or CoinDesk and read what's going on, because this literally is like watching a soap opera every day, or at least reading about one. So where does this all start? Well, XRP, I've got the chart pulled up. It's sitting right over 75 cents, which is up. If we look at the 7 day, it's up from just about, it was low 60s. Yeah, just about a little over 60 and jumping about 15 cents, which is significant. It's about 25% the 7 day. Going back a few months, the SEC launched a lawsuit against XRP. What happened? Well, once they made that notice, Coinbase and a few other exchanges decided to delist XRP. All this and some other information you can check out on some of the other uh, episodes that I've done. But I do want to just get right into it because there's a lot to cover. So what happened this week? Well, about a week ago, we were looking at two SEC commissioners, and um, basically, long story short, is that the commissioners Pierce and Roisman explained that there is a quote, decidedly lack of clarity for market participants around the application of securities laws to digital assets and their trading. Now, that application of the Howey test to such assets is not crystal clear. They go on to say the only certainty they see is that people have questions about how to comply with the applicable laws of the regulation. So, Attorney Kellogg, on behalf of Ripple, brought this forth. It was actually both commissioners commenting on another issue, but use it in support of the fair notice defense that Ripple is using um, in this case. Now, this was a little bit odd because here you have the SEC that has dropped this case on the lap of XRP, and here you have what seems to show that there is some skepticism about the decision to drop the lawsuit on XRP, or at least that's what it seems like to me and some others. What ends up happening about a week or 2 weeks ago is that former SEC chairman William Hinman is to go before the defense and uh, and that the judge Sarah Netburn had authorized the deposition to proceed. Well, that was supposed to happen originally on the 19th, and it got pushed to Tuesday, the 27th. And it seems as though either it hasn't happened, it did happen, or it has been delayed. No one really seems to know. And this is just fascinating because I think if it really were any other case, we would, have a little bit more information with regard to this. But I want to turn to Attorney Jeremy Hogan of Legal Briefs. Give him a subscribe. I'm gonna give him a like here later after I play this video. But he goes into what his theory is about what he calls strange things happening in the SEC XRP Ripple lawsuit.
So now it is July 29 as we film this, and the deposition of Mr. Hinman was supposed to have taken place on July 26th, 3 days ago. Having watched this litigation from beginning, and with the stakes as high as they are, I refuse to believe that former Director Hinman, with all that is on the line, marched into the conference room on the 26th and answered all the questions posed to him by Ripple's lawyers. I just refuse to believe that. I've had small claims cases where I've sued for $10,000, where I fought tooth and nail over one single question that the deponent didn't answer under a privilege objection. Now maybe the $20 million Ripple legal team, with more lawyers than most soccer teams have players, needs more than just 2 days to brief the issue when it is under a discovery cutoff of around only a month? Possible, but not likely for me. But all of these recent things are and very interesting, but we can't really draw any conclusions from them other than that they are really just not very likely to happen in a case like this. But you came here for my rampant speculation and conclusions, and as always, I aim to please. So I'm going to speculate 2 things for your viewing pleasure. First, I don't think the deposition of Director Hinman took place this last Monday.
Okay. So this is interesting. The deposition, he believes, did not take place. Okay, let's hear what the second one is. Let me turn the volume down a little bit because it sounds a little bit too loud. Here you go.
If it had, where is the transcript to be filed under seal for an in-camera review by the judge? Where is the motion to compel Hinman to answer certain questions? Is it possible that the SEC and Ripple attorneys suddenly became little lawyer angels and agreed on everything last week so that they wouldn't have to burden the judge with their bickering? No, trust me, that lawyer doesn't really exist. Which leads me to conclude that the deposition never took place.
Okay. So Attorney Hogan believes that it didn't take place. If it didn't take place, the thing you have to ask yourself is why. Did someone throw in a red flag, call BS on it? Is there a settlement? I don't know. Financial Feeds put out this earlier today. Again, they call it Strange Things, SEC. Strange Things hint that settlement is in the works. The Securities Exchange Commission filed a complaint against Ripple Labs. We've all gone through that. And to bring it up today, where are we going to put from? Oh, yeah. Wow. Did Ripple blow it? Do Ripple's 23 lawyers need more than 9 days to draft a 3-page reply brief? Or wait for it, is it possible, and yes, likely, that Ripple didn't bother to file a response to the SEC because it didn't need to? And Ripple didn't need to file a reply because there were serious discussions regarding. So there's a lot of speculation here. Again, I have no idea what's going on. I'm excited because this just seems just so weird. I was waiting for this. I was waiting to see William Hinman video of him sweating it out in front of 23 lawyers. Doesn't look like that happened. BitBoy actually threw in some commentary on this. Again, BitBoy was one who he wasn't a huge fan of XRP. He's come around to the good guy side. I support everybody in this space. A lot of people have been hating on him because of this whole XRP thing. But if you want, go ahead and give him a subscribe. BitBoy Crypto, here's what he's got to throw in and what he believes is happening.
Let me tell you my interpretation of this. Now, look, this may get totally debunked today. We may get the filing later today. We could get the public testimony. Who knows? Maybe it's out now and I haven't seen it because we are doing the show. This is what I tell you. Why would he not testify? He was commanded to testify. Ripple wanted him to testify. The SEC desperately did not want him to testify. It's kind of like this. It's like if you did something wrong and it's caught on camera and everybody knows when they see it what happened and you fight tooth and nail not to get it shown. Like, let's go back and look at the Ray Rice thing. Like, let's say the Ray Rice situation with the elevator had happened a little bit differently. And instead of it just getting released and everybody seeing what he did, it was in court. And he fought tooth and nail not to have it shown. Like, no, there's no reason. It's a violation. It's this and this. Well, if he lost that and it was going to get shown, he already knew how it was going to end. So what would he try to do? He'd probably try to work out a plea deal before it actually gets released. So he doesn't have to do the case. So it doesn't get shown. What if Ripple right now is with the SEC working out an agreement?
That is a really bold prediction. I would love for that to happen. Although, like I've said, this thing could get dragged out longer. Fingers crossed there's some settlement and some clarity and regulation on this. If you want my 2 cents, I believe all the above. I believe there's something going on behind the scenes. I've said from the beginning that this is a kangaroo court. This is literally a charade, and there's just so many things going on that I think it's a facade, and there's so many things going on behind the scenes. I would say that if Ripple really wants to make a case and to be really held seriously, they're going to stick their guns on really the basis of the fight, which is um, the path toward um, demonstrating that Ripple XRP is not a security. I don't know, although it's really entertaining and fun to have someone like Hinman go and be deposed. Um, you know what? There's something in the back of my head that was saying, you know what? Maybe it won't happen, but maybe I should have made that prediction a few days ago. The other thing that was interesting is there's a lot of FUD coming out against XRP. Here's one that came out just a day ago. Ripple's XRP losing competitive advantage, BIS and Swift going real time. So what this basically goes into is that while XRP is in court, there's all this other stuff going on, and it makes people who read this think, oh, I've got to jump ship. XRP, who knows what's going on? They go right into the Ripple case with SEC. But while that's going on, here's another article that equally says something else. Ripple SBI, CoinsPH collaborate to launch RippleNet's on-demand liquidity. And this is from Wednesday. The launch of RippleNet's first live on-demand liquid or ODL service implementation in Japan. Now, if you don't know who SBI is or their relationship, Yoshitaka Katao is heavily involved in and with Ripple. SBI is huge in Japan, so this isn't anything small. So while the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt is there, there's some other things that would say otherwise. So again, I always say this, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do believe there's just some interesting things that can be said on both ends. Speaking of Ripple, its board, and just looking at all the players that are involved, I wanted to focus on and highlight Sandy O'Connor. I would say if you want to look at the success of any business that's out there, you have to look at who are the players behind uh, uh, the name and the brand. And certainly, it's one of the more talented boards that I've seen. Sandy O'Connor being one of them. She's probably the most brilliant, if not the most brilliant individual in banking right now. And Ripple is really fortunate to have her on board. Here is Sandy. This is about 2 years ago, before she hopped on board, and I will say that she hopped on board last December with Ripple, and this is right before the lawsuit. So the timing couldn't have come better. But is here's Sandy talking about what's happening in the banking world.
The system, particularly the institutions, were not safe and sound. There were not adequate levels of capital and liquidity. So the shock absorbers of the systems were not big enough and deep enough, and the quality was not enough. So where are we? Because post the financial crisis, and just to, again, lay the landscape, the G20 nations came together in Pittsburgh, and they said This will never happen again. And we are going to create a level of standard that every investor, borrower, participant in the world can rely upon with regard to the safety and soundness of banks and the safety and soundness, again, of those functioning markets. Right? So the Financial Stability Board, the Basel Committee, they set those standards, and then within jurisdictions around the world, in our case, here in the United States, the policymakers, the Fed, the OCC, the FDIC, the SEC, the CFTC, and a myriad of others, take those international standards and implement them. So what?
So she knows regulation is coming. What she's talking about too, with regard to it's never happening again, is she's not talking about the financial collapse happening again. What she's saying is that the banks are not going to be bailed out again. That's what she's talking about. And I do again wanted to show that Sandy O'Connor comes from J.P. Morgan Chase, and this was the announcement that she was becoming the board of directors for the SEC. Again, there's many videos of her, very witty. Knows what she's talking about, and I think just her knowledge in the space of banking, um, and just the strategy, the regulation, the policy that goes on behind the scenes that we don't see. I think her addition to Ripple can have come at a better time, along with my girl Rosie Rios as well. So that's going to do it for now. There's going to be plenty next week, and I give a little update on what's happening with this lawsuit. Thank you all again for tuning in. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and by all means, leave a comment if you'd like me to reply. Everyone have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.